The lesson for the coding module that I created is entitled Biology, Creative Computing with Biomes. The authentic problem that the students are going to work on is, do humans have a positive or negative effect on biomes around the world? This is recommended for high school, college prep biology, and the length of the lesson will be about 2 90-minute class periods. This lesson is part of the ecology unit. In the past, students have received prior knowledge of organisms, populations, communities, and ecosystems. They have researched all of these topics and how they are all interrelated. And there is no prior knowledge of coding or Scratch. There is key vocabulary that they're going to learn throughout this lesson, such as biome, Scratch, characteristics, vegetation, aquatic, grassland, forest, desert, tundra, freshwater, savanna, tropical rainforest, and of course related to Scratch, Sprite, and Remix. There are a couple more essential questions that they will be investigating. What are the different biomes on Earth? And what are the characteristics that are special to each biome? So what I chose to use for my technology is Scratch. Scratch allows the users to create a digital story, and the Biome project, in a way, is a story. The capability of this coding site allows students to present their information in a more interactive and meaningful way, rather than just in an oral presentation or written project. Using coding, the students will be able to add in sprites to show how the different organisms in their biome and how they interact. Also, they'll be using a variety of backgrounds throughout the project. The student has the ability to show how the humans have impacted their biomes through their sprites and also their backgrounds. This type of learning falls into the applying category of Bloom's taxonomy, which has students use information to show causes and connections. And coding is all about creating. And Scratch is a type of technology that the students are going to use to take that information they have researched and transfer it to their own remix. They'll also have the ability, again, to create sprites and characters that look like themselves and add it to their project. Many times students don't see themselves in the curriculum we use, and with these projects, especially when they share them out, students will be able to see all the students represented. So here on the screen, you see the Creative Computing Biomes Remix. When the students enter, there are instructions on the screen. At first it says, click the green flag to start. So they're going to click the green flag, and here's a little sprite that's already showing them some text with information. Once they're in that, it says press the space bar to see the next page and preview the template. So as they can see, as they click the space bar, it's going to take them to extra pages. Directions, they're written again, just to solidify what is expected. They have to pick a biome, change the backdrop, add facts, add human impact, and also a fun fact. And don't forget to add music or sprites to make it their own. So what I chose to do also in the directions for the background is each background is a different biome, so the kids in the instructions can actually see the different biomes that there are to choose from. So as they click through, they're interesting facts, and then it brings them back to the page. And again, to go back to the instructions, when they're ready, up here, click the See Inside, and they're going to see inside the project. And then once you click that button, there'll be a remix button that they will hit. And this will put the remix into their own My Stuff in their account that we created. And then they can go ahead and start working on their biome and then the facts that they already researched. And as I say, the kids have fun. They're going to change things up, make sure they change their background to match their biome as well as their sprites. Most importantly, and this is where the higher order thinking comes from, really to use the information that they collected on human impact and use the background and the sprites to make it interactive and really show how humans have impacted their biome. A couple of things that I have for the students to use for their research. Here is the first version of the Biome Research Google Doc, just again so the kids know what facts to list, how many, the human impacts, and then their interesting or fun fact. There is also a modified version of this document. Again, still the facts, but this time there are some lead-in questions to help some of those students, especially those with the IEP 504 or our English language learners. Also, there are helpful websites that are supplied to them so they can spend more time researching and finding these facts rather than taking all the time to figure out what is an actual good site to go to. And then at the beginning of the lesson, here is the KWL chart that they're going to visit throughout the entire course. So in the beginning, some brainstorming, take a look at different biomes. How are they different? How are they alike? Can we name them all? And which ones do we need to learn more about? At the end of the lesson, they will revisit this document and they will fill in the "What have I learned" column. So they're going to go back and revisit these questions and then add in information about their biome. And since diving into Scratch, I realized that I can really use this to assess my students. The students have the ability to really create these stories and animation to explain phenomena in science. And phenomena is deeply rooted in the next generation science standards. And these observable events require deep thought and critical thinking skills in order to create logical reasons as to why they occur. And using Scratch and coding is an excellent way for the kids to show their logical reasons for these certain events.